guys, it's Aoife from Words of Clover and welcome back to another vlog. So I have decided I want to try and vlog maybe a week or so of reading Christmas books and winter books in the next couple of weeks. So it's another 2 weeks until Christmas, and I'd like to get this up maybe the end of Christmas week, like right before Christmas. So I've decided to start it now. And yeah, I have loads of Christmas books on my TBR that I want to read. I love this time of year. I love reading Christmassy books and wintry books and books that just feel cozy and magical, and ones that just like really suit being like curled up on the couch with a blanket or with a hot drink and having the Christmas tree twinkling in the corner. I love those moments and they always feel really, really special to me. And I actually just finished a book last night that was absolutely perfect for that kind of feeling that I just described, and that was The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden, which is the second book in the Winter Night trilogy. The first book is The Bear and the Nightingale. Excuse me. And I really, really enjoyed that book, and it was just so lovely and magical. So I am in the mood now for more magical wintry reads. So I started last night the Stay Another Day by Juno Dawson. This is Juno Dawson's latest book. It is a Christmassy book. It's around a family spending Christmas week together, and there's a lot of ups and downs in the family. There's a lot of tensions. I think we're following each of the three children in the story. They're all, I think the oldest kids, they're twins, they're 19, and then they have a younger sister. So it's kind of like a YA, older YA book, like most of Juno Dawson's books. And I love Juno Dawson. She hasn't written a bad book for me. I have enjoyed every single book of hers that I've read. She would be an auto-read author for me, and I have great faith in her writing. So yeah, we are following Rowan, Fern, and Willow, I think is the last girl's name. And Rowan and Fern have travelled back to Scotland, to Edinburgh, Scotland, to stay with their family. They live in this like massive castle because their dad's family's had this castle like in the family for like hundreds of years. Their dad is a politician, and their mum, I think, is a university professor. And they're like, their parents seem okay, but they kind of are these like, they're like casually cruel towards their parents already, and I'm kind of really feeling sorry for the parents in this already, because the teenage characters are quite horrible. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how Juno Dawson explores that and how it goes from there. I hope they don't stay too horrible for too long, but Juno Dawson's really, really good at writing really horrible teenage characters, and this is kind of her thing. And yeah, I've been there before with her, so I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And then Willow is, I think she's younger. I think maybe she's only about 15 or 16, and she's actually suffering from an eating disorder, and you see that quite strongly already on the page. So I would say if you're going into this and you feel triggered, or if you have issues with eating and you don't really like seeing those intrusive thoughts on page, or you don't like reading it, be really careful going into this book, because already Willow's intrusive thoughts around eating and calories, and her actions around like at the dinner table when it comes to food, her anxiety is very, very strong already, and it's only the first 20% of the book. So yeah, definitely huge content warnings for eating disorders and like bad, I guess, intrusive thoughts when it comes to eating. I'm going to do today, I'm going to try and edit my Christmas books video, which is hopefully going to go out tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I also have to walk up to the library on my lunch break, and I'm going to get another Christmas book, which is Calling Mrs. Christmas, I think it's called, and that is the book club pick for the Cozy Blanket Book Club, which I'm part of. So I will see if I get to that at some point this week, and once I pick it up from the library. So I'll update you guys later. We are back from our walk. We had a nice walk, I think, didn't we, Rossi? you've had your treats. You've had your treats. So yeah, we were back from the walk. I got the goods. It was just one book I needed to collect, which is Calling Mrs. Christmas by Carole Matthews. As I said, is for the Cozy Blanket Book Club. And as far as I know, this is about a girl who gets a job as a nanny with this like millionaire guy or something, and he wants to make Christmas really special for his kids, and he arranges some kind of trip to Lapland, and she goes along with him, I think. And I think there's a little bit of romance maybe between her and her employer. Give it a go anyway and see how I like it. I might read this in this vlog, I might not, we'll have to see. I do have quite a lot of Christmas books to read. I have loads on my list, so yeah, we'll slowly get through them and see how I feel about them. The good thing about Christmas books is they're kind of contemporary reads. Some of them are quite fast to read as well because they're just really enjoyable and cozy. So yeah, I will hopefully read some of that. Now I'm going to just have my lunch, which is just a Caesar salad, and have a cup of tea. And I also have I baked some shortbread biscuits the other day, which are here, and they turned out really nice. They're really easy to make. I've never made them before, but they're super easy to make. But the only problem is that I just keep eating them all because they are quite nice. So yeah, I just keep stuffing my face with these shortbread biscuits so before they go stale. So that is what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, I am going to get on with my work, maybe watch a little bit more Vlogmas at some point during the day. Really enjoying Vlogmas this year, other people's Vlogmases, and it's actually the first year since I think I did my own Vlogmas, which was a good few years ago now, where I kind of thought like, oh, maybe I should have done Vlogmas this year. Vlogmas is a lot of work and it's like really stressful trying to get everything done, but I think maybe next year I might think properly about doing it, but just doing it in a very like easygoing manner, not putting too much pressure on myself. Maybe doing like a tag or a sit down video every other day, then maybe a vlog every other day or something like that. I don't know, I'll think about it during the year and I'll get back to you next year about that. Hello, it is now Tuesday evening, and I am just going to try and make a little bit of dinner because I am starting to get hungry. Rossi is drinking in the background, if you can hear that. For some reason last week when I was thinking about dinners I wanted to make and like what I was craving, I decided I wanted to try and make ramen. I've never made ramen before, and I've actually only ever had it like once, I think, when I was out somewhere in Dublin, like a ramen shop or like restaurant. And yeah, it's just not something that I've ever really made before or ordered when I've been out. So yeah, I've decided I want to try and give it a go. So I was looking through some of my cookbooks that I have to see which are the easiest recipes. So I've decided to go with this one, which is the Hairy Biker's Veggie Feasts. And actually going through this book, I've had this book for about a year. I got it for a gift last year, and I haven't actually really made anything in it. And going through it again, some of the recipes are actually really, really nice. So I think next year I want to try and I did a lot from the green roasting tin this year, at the start of this year, and I think maybe next year I will try and make more things from this, because there's definitely some recipes I would love to try out. So yeah, they have a ramen recipe here. I don't have all of the ingredients. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, not do like a proper, like an authentic ramen by any means, but do something that resembles it. And we'll just see how we go. Just over 60% through of Stay Another Day by Juno Dawson. Really enjoying it. It's kind of like real family dramatics, like things really, you know, everyone bursting and like secrets coming out right before Christmas, people storming off, secrets being revealed, everyone is struggling with something a little bit different. So yeah, I'm enjoying it for the drama of it, the drama that it is. As I said, the characters aren't particularly likable, but I'm kind of warming to them despite them being a little bit unlikable. I kind of like the real moments of, you know, sincerity and empathy and kindness that they do show through, like despite some of their selfishness as well. I'll probably push through that tonight and read as much of it as I can, probably finish it tonight if I can, because as I said, it's quite a quick read. So I think if I just dedicate a good hour tonight, an hour and a half before bed, I'll be able to get this finished. So yeah, I just need to decide what I want to watch as well while I have my dinner, because Cian's out, so I have the night to myself, which is nice. I mean, obviously I love Cian and I love when he's here and we have our nights in together, but it's also nice to be able to choose whatever you want on the television. I've also been thinking today a lot about the house, and I don't know, just kind of getting ready, like kind of making plans for next year and like what we want to do with it. And yeah, just really kind of getting excited and really wanting to, you know, make those changes that we want to do with the house, because after we did the upstairs and the bedroom and the floors upstairs and stuff, that just took so long, and was just there was so much faff about getting that done that we ended up taking a big break. And I was like, I don't even want to do any of that before Christmas. So yeah, next year we're definitely going to be painting all the the front room and the office room, just going to be painting all of that white just to give it like a base color before we decide what other colors we want to put in, because the colors right now, they're all like cream and brown, and it's a little bit dated, and yeah, it's not that nice. So definitely just want to really clean it up a little bit and make it a little bit brighter and a bit nicer, and yeah, just brighter, nicer, cleaner. And yeah, and definitely the kitchen as well. As you can see, the kitchen, great size kitchen, but all the cabinets are like this kind of creamy color, and the handles are just like really old-fashioned as well. They're not particularly nice looking. It'll be a long time before we have the money or anything to do like a whole kitchen like refurb, or like have a whole new kitchen. So definitely next year save a bit of money and just get all of these cabinets sprayed and get new handles, and it will kind of just give it a little bit of like a facelift. And yeah, kind of thinking of that and planning that is kind of making me excited for next year and being able to do all of that. So yeah, I think what I would do is I'd probably go for like a nice matte grey or something in here, and then get like a copper or bronze coloured handles. I think that would be really, really nice. And then we could replace the sink and maybe go with that same kind of coppery or like rose goldy colour. And yeah, in my head it looks really, really nice. We probably eventually have to change the countertops to match that, but like we don't have to do that straight away. So yeah, but definitely just get rid of the creamy colour, because there's just so much cream and like shades of brown in this house, that I just want to get rid of it. So yeah, I'm starting to get antsy now to get on with that. And next year is change all the windows at the back of the house. So the windows at the front of the house are nice, but all the windows at the back of the house are like, I think possibly the original windows of this house, and this house is 70 years old. So the windows are like single glaze. They're like really, they like let all like the heat just goes out of them. The condensation is really bad. Like it's literally like wet on the inside like of the window like every day during the winter, especially like the back bathroom. It's just quite cold and damp, which isn't great. So yeah, definitely need to just change all those windows and get some triple glazing in there. That would be nice. And you guys, windows are really expensive. Windows are so expensive. So yeah, that's like the next big thing we have to do next year. I'm kind of excited to get that done now. And yeah, so hopefully next year you'll kind of see some changes in the background, hopefully, and things will just be like fresher and nicer, and yeah, all around nicer. I'll get on with doing this and hopefully not make an absolute balls of it, because I haven't made it before. So we will see, and hopefully it will turn out nice and not just some weird watery soup, because there's a huge potential that that's what I'll end up making. But if there's noodles in it, it will still be good. It'll be fine.
I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Chestnuts roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering this simple phrase.
Hello, it is now Wednesday morning. I have my makeup on, but I'm still in my dressing gown and my jammies. I still need to get changed. So I am just about to start work for the day, but I wanted to check in, as I did, as predicted, finish Stay Another Day by Juno Dawson last night, and I wanted to let you guys know what I thought of it. So I did really enjoy it. I gave it 3.5 stars. In the end, I think it dragged on a little bit at the end, and I was kind of wanting it to wrap up, and I was feeling very iffy with the characters at the start because they did seem to be so horrible. Now, I did warm up to that. As I said, I like kind of like the dramatics of it, and you know, the family feuding, but at the same time it was Christmas, so everyone was still like, you know, they were fighting, but then there was still this like warmth and like, you know, family, you know, energy and love like around everything, even though people were arguing and things were coming out. And I did really enjoy kind of like their Christmas and Stephen's Day and stuff like that, and it did remind me of just like how lovely a Christmas day with your family can be, despite everything that might be going on the other days. You can kind of just put all that aside and just really enjoy your Christmas day with the people that you've grown up with and the people that you love. Did quite enjoy it, so I did give it a 3.5 stars, and now I am going to start reading Love Notes in Reindeer Falls by Beth Labonte. This is a book I actually got last year after reading another book by Beth called Maple Sugar Crush, which was kind of like a Thanksgiving story, and I really enjoyed that. It was just really sweet. It wasn't too long. It was about around 150 pages, a little bit over, and Love Notes in Reindeer Falls is the same. It's about 160 pages, and it is about a woman called Caitlin who has kind of left her town behind, and she ends up having to return 8 years later, take charge of her childhood home. She finds her little brother is there. I'm sure like he's a young adult at this stage, but despite everything, he needs his sister. So Caitlin kind of comes in and is looking after him, looking after the family home, and apparently she is rediscovering some things that she used to love while she is in her family home, and you know, there could be a second chance romance there as well. So yeah, it sounds really cute, and I did really enjoy Beth's other book, Maple Sugar Crush, so I wanted to read a Christmassy book and I just didn't get around to it last year, so I'm definitely going to read this year's, and I do think there's a sequel to this one as well, so I might get onto that once I finish this, as it's not too long. I was listening to A Mary and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. That wasn't a Christmassy book, it was just a middle grade supernatural magical book, but I really enjoyed that one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Perfect for anyone who loves Nevermore or is looking for like a replacement to Harry Potter or something like that. This is a really, really good book. Magical, whimsy, fun. There's just so many things to love about this one. I really, really enjoyed it. So the next book I'm going to try and read on audiobook is going to be The Christmas Secret by Karen Swan. So it's about a woman who goes to Scotland as part of her job, where she has to manage a family member on the board of an esteemed Scottish whisky company. And she thinks that this is going to be an easy job, but turns out this guy is going to be a lot harder to manage than she thinks. Romance between them, and I'm sure there's lots of other things. Karen Swan's books, like, they tend to be kind of have these nice romances, but there is kind of there's always underlying kind of more serious topics around the book. But I've always really enjoyed, the last few years I've really enjoyed her Christmas books, so I'm looking forward to getting to this one. And I do actually have her latest Christmas book on my shelf as well that I need to read. So yeah, I'll probably be reading 2 Karen Swan books this season, and I'm looking forward to it. It's Friday now. I didn't update you guys yesterday. There was nothing really going on, and I just didn't pick up the camera to update. But I did finish Reindeer Falls, Love Notes in Reindeer Falls, and as predicted, I just really enjoyed this. It was just a sweet Christmassy story. It was pretty simple. It was really just about a girl called Caitlin going home to her hometown of Reindeer Falls. She is broke, she's single, she's recently become unemployed, and she kind of starts reassessing her life once she's in her hometown and trying to figure out if she should stay there, like, you know, and in her mind give up on some things, or like almost like downgrade in a way by going back to her hometown, even if that's the place where she feels the happiest, or if she should stay in the big city and go and try and find another job there, even though she will be alone there. So it was just kind of a short book kind of about this girl kind of trying to figure out what she wanted to do with her life. And yeah, it was fairly simple. There was a nice romance in it, a kind of a second chance romance as well, which was very sweet. So I did enjoy it, and I gave it a strong 3 stars. Rossi, stop. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Don't lick your bum. Don't lick your bum. We don't do that. We don't lick our bums. We don't lick our bums. Yeah. I decided to pick up my book club pick, which was Calling Mrs. Christmas by Carole Matthews. And as I said at the start of this video, this is a book that I had kind of, I just had like bad feelings towards it going into it. I think because I saw the thing around like there was like maybe a cheating aspect to it, or like something around that, and it just kind of gave it a bit of a distaste in my mouth, I guess. And so I picked it up kind of a bit reluctantly, and I'm loving it. I really am enjoying this book. I'm almost 150 pages in, and yeah, I'm just completely charmed by it. It's so easy to read. We are getting Cassie's perspective as she sets up this business called Calling Mrs. Christmas, where she basically helps people out with like their Christmas errands, like putting up Christmas stuff, you know, writing Christmas cards, you know, buying presents, wrapping presents, organising Christmas parties, corporate parties, that kind of thing. And it kind of takes off for her, and then she ends up getting this offer from this kind of like millionaire business guy to help him make Christmas better for his kids as they're going through a divorce. And he wants her to go to Lapland with them. She's just after saying yes that she would go on this trip where I am at the moment in the book. But then she also has this absolutely amazing partner in this book who is a young offenders kind of prisoner correctional officer. So he works in this place for young offenders, and he's kind of always trying to make the world a little bit of a better place. Him and Cassie, you know, they're completely in love. They're like in their middle to late 30s, and they would love to get married and start a family, but they've never just had the finances to be able to do that yet. But he's just like a really nice guy, and like even after a day being in like the young offenders institution, which isn't always the nicest place to be, he comes home and helps her with her like Christmas wrapping and the Christmas business. And I just really, really love their relationship. I just love his kind of chapters as well, because it gives like he's kind of talking about some serious topics about, you know, rehabilitation, things like that for kids who have had a bad start to life. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this, and I'm just like dying to get back to it and read another big bit of it tonight. So yeah, really, really enjoying this, really pleasantly surprised by how much I'm enjoying it. So yeah, happy that I've picked that up. And then another thing I wanted to show you, which I'm hoping I might try and do a little bit more of it today, because I haven't done any of it all week, and that is my little cross stitch, which is a Christmas cross stitch as well. So I never did like home ec or anything in school. I never learned how to sew or do any of those kind of things, so I've never been really good with like knitting or sewing or embroidery and things like that. And I'd actually love to be able to knit properly, and my gran is really, really good at knitting, and my mom's quite good at knitting, and I just never been able to like develop that skill. And I also love seeing people do cross stitch, so I decided to buy just a couple of like simple cross stitch sets on Amazon, and I got this Christmas set of 3, and this is the second one. The first one I actually have inside that I finished, and like it looks grand. It's not great, it's definitely not perfect. I made a few mistakes with it. The back of it is like a mess, but so far with this one I'm getting on better with this one, because I guess I had the first one to kind of practice on a little bit and learn some of the stitches a little bit better. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving this one, this little snowman. So I might try and do a little bit more of this today, watching either Vlogmas or listening to an audiobook or watching a movie or something like that. And yeah, because I'd like to get all of them finished like during Christmas. So I have this one to finish, and then I also have another one to do. So yeah, I'd love to get them all finished. But yeah, so cute.
Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Chestnut roasting, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So I'm offering a simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Although it's been said many times, many ways.
Guys, so it is now Sunday evening. I had a really nice weekend. I just went across to my friend's house and we just had a little Christmas kind of movie night together. We got takeaway. It was really, really lovely. So those were the nice house Christmas decorations that you saw. That is not my house. That is my friend's lovely, lovely house. And yeah, we just had a really, really nice time. We watched Single All the Way, the new Christmas movie on Netflix, and then we also watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding because it's a classic and it's just, yeah, it's great. So we watched that one too. So I wanted to check in because I have finished Calling Mrs. Christmas by Carole Matthews, and I've given this a 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was just really it was just a really easy read. I love that you had a real contrast between what the character Cassie was doing for people, kind of making these really elaborate over the top Christmas parties, and she was employed by this guy who was basically a millionaire, versus the kids then that Cassie's partner was dealing with, who were obviously teenagers, young offenders, people who've had really bad starts in life, who are really struggling to get back on their feet, and who some of whom have come from homes where they've been abused and have not been treated well. Some of them they've never had been shown real love or care for their whole life. And it was just really interesting the way that was dealt with in this book, and I did like how it was dealt with as well. I will say this probably did lose a 0.5 of a star. This would have been a really easy 4 to 4.5 stars for me if it wasn't for there is a very slight cheating element in this book, and you do see the character Cassie, the whole it's kind of obvious that she's going to end up being torn between this new guy, this billionaire businessman called Carter, versus her old reliable boyfriend Jim, and she's kind of being dazzled by the money and the potential of a much different life with this guy versus the life she's already had with this guy called Jim. But the thing is that her boyfriend Jim is just absolutely wonderful. He is just an amazing man. He's the perfect partner. I fell in love with him reading this book. I just thought he was just such a wonderful person. I just couldn't understand how a little bit of money would make her suddenly doubt everything her and Jim had. I just thought it was very, very shallow of her, and I just was really, really angry with her. And if I was Jim, I would never forgive her for even having any doubt about their relationship because of that. It just really annoyed me that she was like that. There was also some real these weird jibes that the other guy Carter was doing about his ex-wife, about how she always put the kids, she always put her image first instead of the kids, and she worked too much and wasn't really much of a mother. And there was just these really weird statements like that and judgments that I was just oh, I don't really like anything about this. So yeah, but overall I did really, really enjoy it. So yeah, now I have moved on to a book called Every Day in December. I actually am not 100% sure what this is about yet, but I do know it's about a woman who really loves Christmas in December and thinks magic can happen, real, real believer in December and the magic of Christmas. And then there's also a man who I think lost someone he loved, a woman he loved, to maybe illness, or I'm not sure whether it was illness or an accident or something, and has kind of lost faith in being able to find someone else to love, and is still grieving quite heavily about this loss. And I think they come together, and I don't know whether the female character is trying to show this guy that magic can still exist and love and things like that, and they obviously, I presume, fall in love while all this is happening. It kind of, in a little way, this kind of a slightly grumpy guy versus this woman who really believes in December and magic and Christmas. It kind of gives me a Lorelai Luke vibe from Gilmore Girls, and I'm kind of digging that. So I'm going to read a little bit more. I literally have only read a couple of chapters, so I don't really know what the story is with it yet, but I'll update you guys tomorrow on that, and then I'll try and wrap up this vlog because it's already been going on for quite a while. But I actually want to let you guys know as well, my friend, we obviously exchanged Christmas gifts last night, me and my friend too, and she gave me the most amazing Christmas gift. So she sourced 12 different books that she knows by checking my Goodreads that I haven't read yet, and she wrapped them all up, and she just put a little blurb on the gift tag about a little synopsis of what the books are about. So I have 12 books, and basically the idea is that I'll unwrap one book every year for the next 12 months. And I'll read that book then during the year. Either I think I'll do it if I unwrap a book, and I'll try and read it within the month that I unwrap it. So I'll have 12 books. I have 12 books to read for the next year, and I don't know what they are yet. I won't know what they are until I unwrap them. But I think it's just such a fun thing, and I think it was such a good idea, and it was so personal, and yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I just had to share that with you. I think I'm really excited to get to the 1st of January and open the first book and see which one it is. But yeah, I'm really excited to that. I just thought it was just such a brilliant gift. That is the story. I'm going to have some pasta bolognese now, and then I'm going to watch the rest of Arthur Christmas, which is on television at the moment, and I'm just going to get on with my Sunday evening. It is now Wednesday the 22nd of December, and I'm really hoping to get this vlog up tonight or tomorrow. So I wanted to do one last update, as I've just finished Every Day in December by Kitty Wilson, I think it was the author. So as I said, this is about two people, one who loves Christmas, one who does not love Christmas, and they've kind of joined together. And the girl who loves Christmas, her name is Belle, she's trying to convince Rory that Christmas is a magical time of year and magical things can happen, and he's kind of just swept up in her enthusiasm and her love for Christmas. So it's kind of the story of the two of them, but they actually already knew each other, which is actually one of the reasons why I quite enjoyed this book. So the two main characters knew each other from college, and this is kind of a not really a second chance romance, because there was never a romance between the two of them in college, but they were old friends. They've had some like nice memories together in college, and they were able to kind of remember those good times in college while also seeing the character growth in each other, and like how the two of them have grown up and have like done things with their lives or not done things with their lives, and encouraged each other to kind of chase their dreams and do what they want to do. And I really liked that. I liked that history that was there between them. I felt like there was a really solid foundation between the two of them as well, as feelings began to grow and it became like kind of a friends to lovers scenario. I really enjoyed all of that, and I think it was done really well. The characters themselves were like very lovable. Belle in particular, she's slightly manic pixie dream girl in a way, but I still really liked her. There are some kind of things around in this book as well around difficult families being slightly emotionally abusive towards Belle. She doesn't have like a particularly great like relationship with her family, just because they're not particularly nice people, excuse me. And I think that's really important to show as well, that like not everyone has this like perfect happy family. Like some people don't get on with their family, their family members aren't very nice people, and especially at Christmas time when family could be a really hard thing for people. I think just having it in a book is quite important as well. So yeah, I thought that was good too. And yeah, the relationship between Rory and Belle was just a nice one to show, because the majority of it is like friendship. There's not even really a kiss until the very end. It's just this really lovely friendship that develops into truer feelings, and particularly on Rory's side, because he is, you know, dealing with grief because he has lost someone very close to him years before. He's dealing with the grief and then the guilt of loving someone else again and falling in love with someone else again, when he thought that the person who, you know, he lost was going to be his forever person. And I thought that was explored really well too. So obviously there's explorations of grief and different stages of grief in this too. And there's quite a grand romantic gesture at the end, which was sweet and also made me laugh out loud. Yeah, I really enjoyed that too. So overall, yeah, this was a really solid book for me. The one thing I will say is I don't think I was like dying to pick it up. She's determined I play with her. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're so rude. You're so rude. You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. I don't think I was dying to pick it up. Like, I was thinking about the book, but I didn't have any like this urge of being like, I really want to find out what happens. I really want to pick it up and finish the story. I was kind of picking it up because I was like, oh, I really want to get this finished before Christmas and I want to include it in my vlog. So I need to, you know, read it within a timely manner if I can. So yeah, like I think I'll give it a 4 stars, because I did actually really enjoy that ending. I was thinking about a 3 stars because of that lack of enthusiasm to pick it up, but I think I'm going to give it a 4 stars. You know, it's Christmas. And that is it for my festive reads for this vlog. Another 1 or 2 festive books fit in around Christmas before the end of the year. So yeah, look out on my Goodreads or my story graph for that. All my links are down below, and I also always include my book reviews within my Instagram stories too. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I have all my socials linked below as well. So that is it for me, and this will be the last like vlog before Christmas, so, or the last video before Christmas as well. So wishing everyone a really happy festive season, however you're celebrating. If you do celebrate Christmas, if you're not, if it's just another day for you, I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely festive season, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.